Hello Skillr Boxers. Today we're breaking down the style of the most successful boxer of the modern era. A hell of a fighter. His style has been a puzzle no one has been able to solve. Well, today we are going to put the pieces together and take an in-depth look at Floyd Mayweather's style both defensively and offensively. While many talk about Mayweather's defensive genius, at 50-0 it's clear that you can't win fights with defense alone. Floyd's offensive skills are highly underrated, and his ability to set traps and outsmart his opponents is often overshadowed by his flawless defense. If you're curious not only about the details of his defense, but also how he uses his offense to frustrate opponents, then this breakdown is for you. But before we start the breakdown, we wanted to announce a collaboration with our sponsor, Boxing Timer Pro, the premier training platform designed for coaches and future champions. The app now has a dedicated Skillr section with a growing collection of workouts. Skillr boxers can now train smarter and improve faster. Download today and dominate the opposition. Boxing stance. If you've ever watched Floyd fight, you know that he typically operates from the Philly shell in a bladed stance. However, he constantly gives his opponents different looks to provoke reactions. He often switches between a long guard, a low guard, and his signature Philly shell, even mixing in a high guard when necessary.
You're going to be a versatile fight where you can beat them in the inside and outside. Because some fights, you're going to have to fight a motherfucker inside. They're going to just close the gap when you period and make you fight.
Often when a boxer is used to fighting off the Philly shell, he doesn't develop a solid high guard.
He says Chris Mannix's scorecard, only 1 round, 2 Linares.
However, Floyd seems pretty confident even when using the high guard.
4-й раунд. Так вот, на поте мелочи в деталях важные.
When fighting southpaws, Mayweather adapts his Philly shell by using subtle adjustments, like parrying shots with his elbow.
He protects himself a lot defensively with his left elbow when he throws that right hand, so he's very hard to counter him.
In these instances, he tends to use the long guard and high guard more frequently.
Just what I expected, Guerrero to be fit.
And darts away from the counter.
This adaptability reflects his incredible ring IQ. Every guard has a specific purpose. All his skills are interconnected, so keep an eye on how he ties them together as we dive deeper. Long-range shots. Floyd's strategy has always been to keep the fight on the outside as much as possible.
Just the key to the fight game is period. The key is to take less punishment. Keep a motherfucker on the outside as much as possible.
To stay active offensively while keeping the fight at long range, he developed an arsenal of long-range punches tailored to his style. First and foremost is his pistol-like jab. Floyd's jab is fast and sharp, and he throws it from various angles. Sometimes he throws it from his long guard, other times from a low guard.
Look at this pop, pop, pop.
Using an up jab that often catches opponents off guard. His jab to the stomach is another great weapon of his, which allows him to land to the body from long range, instead of having to get close. He will often feint up and go low. It also helps him stop the opponents from marching forward. His long-range rear hook is another signature shot of his. It's typically difficult to land a rear hook from the outside, but Floyd has perfected it. By placing his weight on his front foot, he whips the hook with speed, rotating his body to deliver the punch with precision.
15 seconds to go in the fifth, boy. You're absolutely right, but it's not his nature. To prop up the face of the stairs. To apply pressure, Mayweather continues.
To close the distance, Mayweather often uses his lead straight right. Normally, leading with a rear hand punch isn't recommended, but Floyd sets it up by lowering his stance and shifting his weight forward before launching the straight right with impeccable timing.
Get out of the way. Off the move.
You know, that adds up. I mean, even like in the last round.
Another punch he uses to bridge the gap is his leaping lead hook, also known as the gazelle punch. Floyd frequently feints low, then leaps forward, catching his opponent with the hook from the side. The Mayweather Defense. As we've discussed on the boxing stance, Floyd primarily uses the Philly shell, but his mastery of it is what sets him apart. He may well be one of the greatest defensive fighters of all time, and his unique adaptations to the Philly shell are why we have labelled it as the Mayweather Defense. Well, he actually named it himself.
I got my own fucking defense, man. That's the Mayweather. I got my own style in boxing. That's the Floyd Mayweather style. But the thing is this, I don't care who done it first. It's mine because I mastered it, the Philly shell. I love Philadelphia. But at the end of the day, that's the Mayweather defense.
One of the most characteristic features of his defense is the use of the shoulder roll to defend the rear. Taught by his father, Mayweather has refined this technique to near perfection.
Hard as you can. You want to throw it hard as you can. Damn. Let's throw it again. Where you at?
It's less about big movements and more about timing and positioning. The shoulder only moves as much as necessary to deflect the punch, while the chin must stay perfectly tucked behind the front shoulder to avoid exposure. Otherwise, the punch can get through. Though it looks effortless, mastering the shoulder roll takes time and precision. Here is some advice from Floyd as to how he got to master it, which can apply to any difficult move you may want to learn.
So what I did, how I learned the shoulder roll so good was when I used to box guys that wasn't really that good. I used to box guys that was mediocre. I wasn't really worried about hitting them hard or hurting them. I just wanted to practice certain things. So if I practice the shoulder roll 100 times with guys that's not really that good. So once I do get inside that square circle with a guy that is good, it's going to work because I already practiced it 100 times.
He's also able to counter quickly off the shoulder roll, transitioning from defense to offense. When facing a southpaw and using the Philly shell, we have seen him adapt the guard and instead use the elbow to defend. Like the shoulder roll, he also uses it to counter by parrying the shots with the elbow. Another key to his defense is his unbreakable focus during the fight.
He's always looking. But he puts you in a place where he's so defensive and elusive, and you steady punching, and you keep swinging, and you see him looking at you like. So he kind of, like puts you in a place of, okay, if I keep swinging too much, I'm gonna hang myself out there to get hit. Because he's seeing all this.
With a 7 sort of punch of giving 7 pounds of credit.
Always being aware of his position and his opponents, making reads and moves to remain defensively sound at all times.
He'll stall, he'll act like he's gonna punch, act like he's gonna punch. They're trying to stall you. Then you get back on that bicep.
Now that we've covered his defensive brilliance, let's dive into his highly underrated offensive game. Offensive ring IQ. Floyd's offensive strategy revolves around setting traps for his opponents to make mistakes. He excels at changing rhythms and keeping his opponent guessing, embodying the principle of unpredictability that's central to boxing. It's like playing chess in the ring.
I never said I was a checkers player. I'm a chess player. I play chess. Every move is calculated.
We have seen this offensive display against many fighters. Against De La Hoya, he used the jab to occupy up top and then come down with a stabbing jab to the body.
Oscar's right in front of him. Averages in the last 18
React to the guy in front of him.
Then he changed it up, and after going low with the jab, he would go up top with this long-range rear hook we mentioned.
It's too early to be lingering in the kill zone. And then he's lingering in the kill zone. Tired mind mistakes. Tired mind mistakes.
Against Cotto, he continuously landed the jab rear hook, using the jab to blind and coming around with the hook. Once Cotto adjusted to the rear hook, Floyd then feints the rear hook and comes with the lead uppercut or corkscrew jab, loaded by the movement of the feint.
Right in front of us, Dave. And you just another left uppercut. Again the uppercut.
Against an easy to trigger opponent like Maidana, he capitalized by baiting him into the pull counter. Once Maidana got him caught onto it in the second fight, Mayweather adapts, knowing Maidana is going to feint and then punch. He decides to bait Maidana, but this time punching first with the leaping lead hook. He then does the same, but leads with a 1-4, while Maidana expects the pull counter. A similar tactic was used against Juan Manuel Marquez, where Floyd repeatedly landed the pull counter with the head forward bait. Once he did it a few times, he then used the bait, but instead of countering, he led the action with his straight right. Mayweather's greatest gift is his ability to constantly adapt, changing setups and attacks so that just when you think you figured him out, he switches things up again.
Once the bell rings when you come out, I do the same thing to you over and over and over again.
Likes to settle getting hit in retaliation.
Hand shots to the face of
Them by Mayweather.
Until you catch on to it. Once you catch on to it, I do something different.
heads up. I mean, even like
And then off the move.
If you catch on to that, I do something different. Then I go back to what I was doing the first time and mixing them up.
In addition to his feints and tactical versatility, Floyd is a master of subtle veteran tricks, like misleading his opponent with his vision or exploiting his opponent's mistakes.
If you make any mistakes, you have to pay. You make any mistakes, you have to pay.
Oh, and then as Ortiz tries to score.
With a perfect record of 50-0, no one has been able to solve the puzzle that is Floyd Mayweather. While some opponents have come close, and a few decisions have been contentious, the question remains, how do you beat Floyd Mayweather?
How do you go about trying to break it down? How do you fight that shoulder roll, the Mayweather defense?
Oh, I don't know. I need to see it and think about this, because you know it's not simple question.
We'd love to hear your thoughts. What are Floyd's weaknesses, and how would you go about defeating him? Let us know, and if you like this video, you can find out more on our channel. And to your left, we have chosen a video that we thought you may like.